Hi guys, so welcome along to today. Today is a day in the life of a lawn care business owner. So today, it's a bit of a mixed bag today. We have got a quotation first of all, which we're just on the way to now. I won't be filming there, but I will tell you all about it once I get back in the van. Then we've got a full renovation to do on a small lawn.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
And then we've got 10 treatments to go and do, and finally there is another lawn where we're scarifying the front lawn and just reseeding a couple of patches on the rear. So I'm going to get myself over to the first quote, be there in about 10 minutes, and I'll see you after that. Right, so that was a quote on a new build property. It's just a couple of years old. Like most of them, there are bricks and lots of clay under the ground, and it's struggling in various places from shade. So in the shade it's going thin, it's mossy, and I'm digging down, going with the my core aerator tool, and down in the ground it's just boggy clay, bricks and everything. So we've left them with the quote, and on to the next one now, which is a full renovation. It's not a huge lawn, but it's going to take a couple of hours to do, and it's quite shaded round there and there's not a lot of grass. So it's an old customer who's moved house, so we're going there now. We're going to get that done. I'll get some footage for you, and then we'll crack on with the rest of the day.
Down, throw some days, you can take off now, don't think twice, but hey, don't you want to please?
Okay, I'll just show you. Okay, that's handy. Next door neighbours just come out and asked me to do a quote on their lawn, so I'm going to nip round there. It looks pretty good, so it's just a case of getting some treatments on. Okay, let's go and have a look at this lawn. It's not much of a lawn at the moment. It's suffered badly over winter. I mean, the customer's only been in a few months, and basically leaves all over the lawn. Not a deal left. So I'll show you now. He's lifted up a couple of patio slabs. Right, so that's it. You can see what we've done. We've scarified heavily, overseeded, top dressed, rolled it all in, put the emerald green on, give it a good watering. It just needs to be kept damp for the next 2 to 4 weeks. Right, on to the next. Right guys, so 12:30 now, so I've got 9 treatments to go and do. I've just had a look, and then we're going to be finishing off with a property where we're going to scarify the front. And on the rear, there's just 2 patches around a hot tub, which I said I would reseed for them. So we need to crack on and get these treatments done. I'll try and show you around a few of them, but other than that, we'll see you when we get to the next piece. Okay, so what we're doing with these lawns is just fertiliser and weed killer we're applying on all these lawns, and if we see anything out of order, then we're going to leave a note for the customer. But you can see there's a dip here, and basically that's just getting scalped there, so that needs some topsoiling. And this front You can see suffers with the moss in the shade, and then less and less moss as you get into the sun. Look at the back. Again, more in the shade, so in the sun it does well. Just a little bit of moss there in the shade. It's quite funny that you can see the moss, and then very little moss, and you come to this side fully in the shade and lots of moss. So this really wants a good scarify. So I'm going to crack on with this, and then we'll see you on to the next one.
I'm going back up.
Okay, I've got to be quiet on this one because the guy's on nights. So we've got two front lawns, mossy and thatchy. And on the back, a dog uses the backbone. In fact, the gates are okay. It's just really patchy. It's quite disheartening. So I'll leave my recommendation on what we need to do. It needs a renovation because it's never been done. It's been recommended a couple of times. A good scarify, aerate, overseed and top dress. So I'll leave them a note to that effect, and we shall see. You can't change people's minds. Some people just want you to come and keep the weeds down, and that's the difference between running a business and what other people expect and what they want. Two different things completely. Us as lawn care fanatics, we want the perfect lawn, so we will go out of our way and do whatever is required. But in business and the service that we offer, we tell people, you know, we can come and put a treatment on, keep the weeds down and keep the grass green. But from time to time it's going to need some other work doing, scarifying, aerating, overseeding, etc. But not everybody wants that, so we just have to accept that. So I would say, surprisingly, probably maybe 70% of people just want you to come and keep the weeds down and just feed it. And I would say it's probably about fair that maybe 30% of people want to take it to the next level. But it is what it is. It's a business and it's something I enjoy doing, so I'm happy to look after the lawns in whatever capacity suits them as well. Right, I'm going to get this treated. Basically, I'm not filming while I'm doing it, but I'm putting fertiliser on and weed killer, so I'll crack on. Okay, the next one is literally about 5 houses down on the opposite side. So it's just a normal front lawn. It's got a bit of moss in there. Okay, I couldn't actually go in and film that garden. They're in the back garden. Little child's playing in there. It was a new lawn 2 years ago. Sadly, they have a cat which is weeing all over. Their son is playing football, and on both edges it is worn down to almost nothing. There's multiple patches, and it's just a shame really. So the cheapest course of action, what I've told them to do, is just to rake the patches heavily and then get some patch magic and just scatter some patch magic down. I've given them a price for us to renovate the lawn, but it works out far cheaper for them to just keep fixing the patches as and when they appear. That's what life's all about, isn't it? That's what life's all about. I can do these things for people if they want to pay for it, or they haven't got the time to do it, or not interested in doing it. But I would rather people do it themselves. One, to save time and then be happier. Happier customers means they'll stick with me for longer. So that's what it's all about, isn't it? Right, on to the next one. It's just over there, so I'm going to drive over there now. We normally cut the grass, but I cannot get to my mower. It is underneath all of the tools from the renovation, so I've got to let the customer know. It's just a very small square on the front, quick treatment, and then on to the next. As you can see, again, another lawn that needs scarifying. It's to do with the types of grass what they've got down here. Thankfully it hasn't grown too much, so it's not desperate for a cut. So I'm going to show you me treating this lawn. Just going to get the fertiliser. That is it, that'll start picking up in the next couple of weeks. It could benefit from a good scarifier though. These lawns around here have a lot of thatch producing grass. So this lawn, we did a renovation a year ago and it all came through. And now I've got a chance to speak to the homeowner for the first time properly. We've learned a few things, and basically there's about 600 mil of clay, and then under the clay it's all hardcore, and this is what you get on lots of new build properties. They just build them on clay, and apparently this was like a wetland, a marshland area, so it's basically we're always going to be struggling. He's dug holes and it was filling up with water and it wasn't draining away anywhere. So even French drains are not going to be a real solution. Customer's actually been over and forked the whole lawn by hand. It's took him 2 days. But you can see the damage that's done from wet conditions. And this has been very, very boggy and very, very wet all over winter. Now remember, grass needs air, rain and nutrients. And if it gets too much of any one of those, it's an imbalance. Imagine a triangle, it's perfectly balanced, it's all in harmony. You get too much on one corner and it just starts wobbling about and it affects the health of the grass. So that's exactly what's happened. Too much water and the grass, basically it's like it's drowning. So the balance is all out. But the customer, look at that, what an epic job. Look at that, it's taken him 2 days to do all this. Give me hats to him. So anyway, it's going to start drying out now because the weather's improving. So he's just got to accept that during really wet weather it's going to suffer, but it'll bounce back. So we're going to get fertiliser and weed killer on, and then we'll get on to the next one. I think we've got 2 or 3 more after this, and then we'll be on to the seeding and scarifying. Again, just another straightforward front and rear lawn. So it's not in bad nick really, it's just a case of keeping on top of things. A little bit of moss, a little bit of thatch, but same with most lawns. Now the back gets played football, so it tends to be worn down, a bit more compact. Make sure the dog's away. But yeah, it's not in bad nick really. Customer laid it themselves a couple of years ago, and it's just worn down up and down here. There must be about 5 or 6, 7 or 8 footballs dotting around. And then we have problems in the corner with the shade and the water. When it rains heavy, it hits that and falls down, and you get a pool of water. But yeah, so we'll crack on, we'll get this treated, and then we'll get on with the next one. Just the way you say that it's alright now. Okay. It's just back lawn only, split into 2 lawns. Family lawn, bit of thatch. There's a few kids' toys, I'll get them off in a second. But yeah, it is where it is. A little bit worn down, as you can see, where they walk on and around to the entrance to get on the trampoline. It's just general high traffic, wear and tear more than anything. Hello. Hello, cat. Right, I'll crack on. Okay, just arrived at the last of the treatment jobs today. Can't take you through because I've got to go through the house, so they'll not be very kind for me going through the house with the camera. But in the back garden, it's just a small circle, maybe 5 or 6 meters across as a diameter, and it's well looked after. They put turf solve on regular, and if it needs seeding, they'll seed it, and they've got a dog, so they're well on top of it. So I'm going to go and get this done, and then we'll crack on and get over to the last job of the day. It's 3 o'clock, so we should be at the next one for 3:20, and all good. Sometimes I even wanna be with you, just the way you say that it's alright now. So interesting. There's scaffolding up. There's a skip. Can I get through to the back? There's stuff on the front lawn. This may have to be rearranged. Right, so unfortunately that job didn't pan out for today, with the extension and the stuff all over the lawn and access very tight to the rear. Plus the grass was very long at the rear. I said let's just rearrange it, so we're going to go back in a couple of weeks time when they've got the extension finished. So if you have enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. You can do one more thing for me. Please click on that subscribe button down there. It means the world to me. See you guys on the next one.